Hello. Today is lesson 13-5, the last lesson in Unit 13, and it's a problem-solving lesson called Try, Check, and Revise. You know how to use estimation and reasoning to solve problems. Today you'll learn a strategy called Try, Check, and Revise that you can use for solving problems. When have you had to make another attempt to solve a problem because what you tried at first did not work? Students talked about other math problems involving a guess and check type strategy. Oh, this was something to inspire students to keep trying. I put a little cartoon up there with a quote from Thomas Edison. The quote says, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." And you can see in the cartoon, the guy on the bottom is very close to finding those diamonds that he's been mining for, but he doesn't realize how close he is. And I reminded students that when we use this strategy, guessing and checking and revising, we can feel frustrated, but we are getting closer to finding those diamonds or finding the correct answer each time we try. So here's the kind of question we had today. Erica had 25 markers. There are red, yellow, and blue markers. Erica has 4 more red markers than blue markers. She has the same number of blue markers as yellow markers. How many red markers does Erica have? It seems like a tough question, but we'll take it one step at a time. First, think about what the problem tells us. What do we know from reading the problem? We know, first, that how many she has altogether. The first sentence tells us how many total. We know the sentence after that breaks that total into parts and tells us how to compare these parts to each other. 4 more red than blue and the same number of blue and yellow. Then the questions do vary. They are different questions, so we have to make sure we read that question carefully. Okay, so how do we go about trying, checking, and revising to solve this problem? First, you can use a little graph like this, a part-whole map, and students are used to seeing these in first and second grades. At the top of the part-whole map, you have the total, the big number, 25 markers in all. That means all together, all of this will add up to 25. Then I've marked the blue and the yellow as having the same amounts, here and here, same amounts, and I've marked the red as having 4 more. It's kind of a visual way, a picture way of showing what's in the problem. Then I made a table, and this table is bigger than most of the tables we used. It's a little bit more detailed, so I'll just show you what it is, and then you can use simpler tables on the homework. But what you do then is start putting in numbers and guessing. I know there's 25 in all. I'm going to pick a number smaller than 25 and just try it here for blue. Maybe I'll guess that there's 8 blue markers. If I guess that there's 8 blue markers plus yellow, I know blue and yellow are the same, so I'll put the same number here, plus red, I'll have to add 4 to 8 to put the number for red, so that would be 12. Let's see. Start with 8, add 8 again, add 12, and you've got your total. 8 plus 8 plus 12 equals 28. It can't be right because it's 25 markers in all, so that's too high, and I've written too high over here. Try another guess. 6. 6 plus 6 plus 10 equals 22, and that's too low. 7 plus 7 plus 11 does equal 25. There is a difference of 4 between 7 and 11, so it checks. Got the right answer. So the answer is, how many red markers does Erica have? 11 red markers. So just to review, we're not going to say 7, 7, 11 is our answer. We're not going to say 25 is our answer. But since the question asked how many red markers, our answer is 11. Okay, another question. Ray and Tony have 32 crayons altogether. Ray has 2 more crayons than Tony. How many crayons does each boy have? One of the strategies I taught my students for problems like this is to begin by splitting the big number in half. In this case, 32 is the big number, and we can split that in half because we know it was shared between 2 people. Half of 32 is 16, so I could guess that Ray has 16 and Tony has 16. That would add up to 32, but the problem is that Ray has 2 more crayons than Tony. So I have to think about how to make one number a little bit bigger than 16 and one number a little bit smaller than 16. Just like I split 32 in half, I'm going to split this number 2 in half. I'm going to add 1 to 16 to find out how many crayons Ray has, and I'm going to take away 1 from 16 to find out how many crayons Tony has. I split 2 in half, so I'm adding 1 and taking away a 1 because half of 2 is 1. So I could guess a few things, and then what I would finally end up with, if I added 1 to 16, I'd get 17. And if I took away 1 from 16, I'd get 15. That is a difference of 2. We know Ray has 2 more crayons than Tony does, and it does add up to 32. So that is our correct answer. Okay. This was another problem we did, so pause the video to think about this one. Try it on your own. That's what your graph should look like. And then when you add in your numbers and your information, you can finish up your graph. And in the end, you should have 11 plus 3 for crocodiles, 11 minus 3 for alligators, 14 plus 8 is going to be your answer. 14 plus 8. There's a difference of 6 and they add up to 22. And that was it for today.